But I want to get back to public higher education, which has been enormously important to American upward mobility and to the development of a middle class. And when you talk about the Harvards and the Stanfords and the Pomonas and the Williams, you're talking about a very small slice of the population that is increasingly from a very affluent, very affluent families. And there is a crisis in public higher education. And now, you know, many of first-generation Americans, poor Americans, they go to community colleges. It's the other extreme from Harvard, and those are grossly underfunded institutions. So we can't really ignore the plight of public higher education, can we, and just assume that because our elite private institutions, the envy of the rest of the world, a model that the rest of the world doesn't have, are strong.
We certainly can't. We can neither ignore them in the sense of recognizing that they are a crucial national asset, nor the private institutions are a crucial national asset. No one should suppose that the fact that we have that crucial national asset is grounds for complacency about the future of public higher education. I think increasingly, and you see this starting to happen, the model for public higher education is going to take on more and more of the attributes of private higher education. You are going to see, you see to a much greater extent than was true 3 decades ago, that a Berkeley or a Penn State or a UT Austin rely on philanthropy and seek philanthropy, and that trend is going to need to continue. Taxpayers simply are not going to be prepared to pay for the cost of becoming one of the great institutions of Shakespearean studies. That's a costly thing, and taxpayers just are not, we're seeing it across the country, are not going to be prepared to pay for it. So we're going to have to rely more on philanthropy. We're going to have to rely more on technology to try to drive efficiency. We're going to have to rely more on models that emphasize financial aid. You know, the children of most of the people in this room, if they attend a public university, probably should be paying a tuition that bears some resemblance to the cost of providing that education. And so we're going to need to move away from the universal low tuition model in substantial parts of public higher education. And we're probably going to need to make student loan models, particularly for those studying fields where the returns are quite lucrative, into a larger share of the financing model. Those are all probably steps that we are going to have to take, but it is going to be increasingly difficult to maintain private universities at the same level of greatness as our greatest private universities unless we're able to mobilize substantial philanthropic resources. And